thing that drew me to skateboarding in the first place, like in the late 80s, was how rebellious and lawless it was.
When we started skating when we were younger, it was a subculture, a counterculture. It was a refuge for kids that maybe didn't feel like they belonged in team sports. But skateboarding is obviously at this place where it's like expanding.
Right now is probably the craziest time I've ever seen in skateboarding.
The state of skateboarding right now is very corporate.
Everything is like a product of advertising and it's all competitive.
Just skate for the money or the gold.
The scene is totally changing.
Consumed by corporations where it's just
coaches being yelled at.
Everything becomes too serious. I think it's going to hurt us a little bit.
It gets homogenized, corporatized.
Warehouses of fun.
Non-skaters trying to capitalize on what we do.
It loses its soul.
Leading into Tokyo 2020, there's definitely people that are concerned about changes and outside influence.
Now that skateboarding is getting put on this main global stage, a lot of people are kind of feeling like, all right, well, how is this going to change our culture? And what is skateboarding going to look like a decade from now?
I've noticed that skateboarders are a lot more health conscious than you would think. Do a little bit more exercising, stretch more, eating fruits and vegetables, which is really surprising, you know, considering where we came from, you know, getting drunk and thrashing.
When I first started to come into the gym, I was like, it sucks, but now I'm like actually like hyped and fired up to come in here.
6, 2 more.
The glutes, hamstring, quads. Maybe I'm not so strong in one area, then I go back in the gym, let's get strong at it, and then let's go back to skate and see how it helps.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Yes, nice.
10 years ago, it was totally different. But being able to have the balance to where you could come into the gym and tweak things and help you out to get better, of course I'm gonna go that route.
Come on. 2, 3, nice.
We're skateboarders at the end of the day, but the level that we do it at is like that professional athlete style.
I watch basketball, I watch football, I watch soccer. The athleticism in skateboarding is next level. The bangers that people are throwing out that used to be just impossible curb tricks are now being done on huge handrails. God only knows where the ceiling lies, seriously. Not everybody's feeling the huge contest with all the $100,000 prize purses. There's the dudes that just want a quarter pipe and a bro session and a curb session.
I think you're gonna get two schools of thought on it. Like there's gonna be purists and they don't want things to change. And then there's gonna be everyone else who's like, yeah, cool, sounds good. Bring it on.
The more the attention grows, I'd say the more the underground grows too. It's not even conscious, it's just like, let's create our own thing.
About a year ago, I started toying with the idea of doing a podcast. I realized that there was kind of a lot of people out there that were looking for skate content with kind of candid opinions, the kind of conversation you'd have with your good friends.
I quit skating like at the end of 8th grade, and one of the reasons is because my friend Zach clapped for an axle stall, and I thought that that was condescending. I was like, damn, he thinks so little of me that he clapped for my axle stall. That was the final straw.
It's important to have a critical conversation about skateboarding because if it doesn't, it just kind of festers and bubbles around on the internet.
It's been proven time and again that giving people a carrot that they win just like sets them up for failure because they don't enjoy what they're actually doing. And when they don't get the prize, they cry.
I think something that's interesting about skating kind of entering the mainstream A lot of that kind of countercultural element, I think, is going to be washed away. I had spent more or less a decade in sponsored skateboarding. The whole way that track runs is very kind of self-obsessed, constantly having to sell and peddle your own product. I think that for me that got kind of exhausting. And then I kind of got to this place in the last few years where I was like, I just want to grow this skate community. I want to like try to use my reach and my influence to impact young skaters all over the place. That to me feels like the important work, which is like, how can we like grow the pie of skaters and also like keep it radical.
Oh, sorry.
Literally when kids go to learn a new activity, they type it in on Google. And so if you type in skateboarding, you've got these different kind of YouTube stars. You've got a guy like Andy Shrock coming in.
So how the heck do you ollie? That's where you jump on the skateboard, right?
For a lot of kids, that's like introducing them to skating. And sometimes they evolve past that, sometimes they don't.
Throw your board.
I can see why kids resonate with it. It's kind of like a 4-on-1 or something like that. I don't think I could even be friends with any of them. They'd probably be trying to put me on their YouTube channel and saying a bunch of stupid stuff.
I'm in the Dagobah system right here, okay? Like Yoda's about to come out and be like, learn this trick better, but I'm not. I'm taking it. I'm done.
When I started skateboarding, skateboarding wasn't cool. And now, I've made skateboarding my life. Skateboarding is vastly cool in many different ways, but I'm a YouTube skateboarder, and I'm still kind of looked down to. When I go out there and skate with my friends, it's always been about goofy and having fun, not taking it too seriously.
Mind if I do?
If I have to act the way I do on YouTube to get a kid interested and spark that thing that sparked in my mind when I stepped on a skateboard, then that's awesome. And I 1000% happily take that title.
The thing is, it doesn't matter what gets you into skateboarding, it's just that you're here. Like, I started skating because of Ninja Turtles. There's a lot of kids that started because of BAM. There's a lot that started because of Tony Hawk.
Did everyone point? Yeah.
I didn't point. It doesn't matter. It's just what gets you in the door. And then when you get in there, it's like, oh, cool. I found this. I found this. I love this.
In the role I get to play as the action sports director, I get first sight on the next generation, and it's mind-blowing. These 10-year-old kids we're getting and seeing now, I can't wait to see where they're at when they're 20.
When I was 13 and I first arrived to Woodward, I was like, wow, this is like what every kid dreams about. Dude, I can go to Woodward and learn so many tricks, you know?
You know, whether you skate street, transition, vert, or you're just those all-terrain skaters now, we're unlocking the trick dictionary. As everything grows, the technology grows of sport, we're getting young kids. We can safely teach them how to progress in the sport through the foam pit, through the airbag, and through our resis. When the foam pit started with Woodward was to try the untriable. Anytime we build something new at Woodward or even start the plans of a skate park, it's how can the beginner and intermediate campers learn and progress. And then at the same time, the pros will have the opportunity to try a new trick on something with a lower consequence if they do miss.
With the new dynamic of all these skate parks, that adventuresome side of like going out, skating stairs at the college, getting the security called on you, that has definitely taken a back seat.
Driving down the street and seeing something and looking at it in a certain way that maybe only one skater could look at that spot and say, wow, whoa, I can do this and maneuver my board this way and hit that and come out of it. I feel like that's kind of losing its appeal.
The next generation, if they could just do a little research and check out some old videos of some old pros. It was just a bunch of dudes that were getting yelled at everywhere, and they were just trying to have a good time.
We used to have to run from the cops. We had helicopters chasing us, like we murdered somebody. Go out in the streets and try to find it and do it. Go get kicked out of a spot. It's not that terrible.
In life, you kind of try to do the things that make you feel like you belong. The only way we're gonna grow skateboarding is if we find a way to realize that we're all skateboarders and we should all have each other's backs. There's gonna be a day where YouTube's gone and Instagram's not cool anymore and the new stuff is. If you want skateboarding to be a thing where we all get along, you're gonna have to accept the changes as they come.
You can take the Olympics or the more corporate side of skating and use that for what it is and give it a little bit of teeth. That's the important thing to me, is like, give skating that edge that it needs.
There are people that think skateboarding going to the Olympics is really lame. I totally get it. That's because we all have invested so much time, so much of our lives into it, and so it's something that we hold sacred. That said, skateboarding isn't mine, it's not yours, it's ours, and I just love the concept of sharing that with more people.
I don't have any fear that NBC wants to visit my curb spot right now. Not right now, you know. I feel it's two separate worlds, you know, and the best in the game can play both fields. The guys that are going to be able to compartmentalize it are going to succeed and not be bothered that much by all the attention, and then be able to go skate with their bros on the weekends and pretend nothing's going on.
All dressed up for Sunday and looking to the beach, leaving red on the faces.